Hello everyone. My name is Alex, and today I'm going to continue testing CurieTech AI with some DataWeave stuff. So I don't know if you are familiar with this post that I had created back in 2024, more than a year ago, in which I am trying different ways of solve the same problem. So pretty much we have this input, and you know what? I'm gonna start putting it in Curie. All right, so here I'm in CurieTech. I go to DataWeave generator. I have my JSON. So this is my input data. And then my output data is going to be something like this, in which we are going to change some fields from the payload to generate something different. But then we also want to filter out. So filter out the objects in which the criteria is less than, let's say, 3 for this example. So let me put this here. It's less than 3. Plus some fields are being added to each object. So the expected output should be like that. Let's just tell it, find the most performant way. And let's submit it. And while we wait for that, let me show you the experiment that I did. So pretty much this was, I can show you from here. I run 3 different ways of achieving the same code, but here I tried doing it with like 10,000 items instead of just 2. And the results were mind-blowing, because we created the filter and map, which is the fastest one, because you first filter the whole array and then you map it. But then we also created map and filter, which is the second most performant one. So first it goes and does all the mapping to all of the objects, and then it filters them out. But finally, we also tried to use just reduce, which in theory should only be using like 1 iteration of the whole array. So in theory, reduce should be faster because it's only going through the whole array once instead of 2 times or more than 1. But that was not the case. As we can see from here, filter and map took like 55 something. Map and filter took 7, and only reduce took like almost 1 millisecond, I believe. And this will keep changing if you keep running the code. As you can see, like it's gonna keep doing different times, but it always remains first filter and map, then map and filter, and then only reduce. So here, for example, I have map and filter. So first we're doing the map, then we're doing the filter. And then here, only reduce, we are just doing the reduce and nothing else. And then in filter and map, we are filtering first by the criteria, and then we are doing the map. All right, and it finished in 34 seconds. So let's take a look at the code that it did. It is telling us the current year, 2024, hard-coded to match the expected output. Yeah, because I did it in 2024. So first we have the filter. It is doing the filter first, the criteria less than 3 in the map, and then doing the whole mapping from whatever I had. This is pretty much what I was expecting. And then let's say like you made a mistake, and instead of putting -3, you wanted to put == 0. Criteria should be == or let's do less than 2, I think, because what was the output? I can see here the output. Oh yeah, the criteria was 0. So let's see, for example, criteria should be -2 instead of -3. So you can click on regenerate, and this will again work on it. I don't know why it says 1 minute now. Turns out it says 1 minute because the time that is showing is a cumulative time from the point the task was started into now. So because I was taking like 1 minute to do the whole thing and then do the second task, it took 1 minute, almost 2 minutes from that point to this point. But yeah, you can just take a look at what is happening here. Here you can take a look at the comments. So here criteria should be -2 instead of -3, and it generated it. So you just have to keep scrolling down. And here you can see like criteria -2. Here's the new code. so we can actually test this. So let's go ahead and take the input that we had, and then let's copy the code with the -2, for example. And here we have it, and it is working as we wanted it to work. So awesome! It was able to correctly create the filter first and the map second. So I'm happy with this. It actually followed the experiment that I did, where I was able to see that filter map was actually the most performant way. So if I had Curie back then, I would be able to see this way faster instead of like having to manually do the whole experiment and timing them. So awesome! Thank you, CurieTech fam. I like this. The DataWeave agent is going places. All right, that is all for this video. I will see you in the next experiment I do with AI. Bye!